I'll never get over her, losing her. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. He needs to pay for what he did.
One night, a husband would come home to his wife sleeping. He would go ahead and kiss her, but to his scary fortunes, the husband would find out that he actually kissed his dead wife. Today, we bring you to the forefront of a cold case from Iowa that gained national attraction due to the nature of its events that unfolded. It is hard to imagine that even a family can be torn apart to an extent that they end up pointing fingers and accusing each other of murder. As the person who was convicted for the killing was revealed to be the son of the victim, this case turned out to be highly sensational and controversial in its own ways. This case was riddled with accusations, backstories, and a lot of money. If intrigued, stay tuned and get on board with Mysterious Hook to explore the strange events of the Shirley Carter murder case. Shirley Carter was born on June 10, 1947 in Des Moines, Iowa. She was the daughter of a shoemaker. She married Bill Carter in 1963. The couple farmed together in the Pleasantville area. The two also had 3 children, after which Shirley took on the role of a mother, along with helping Bill in his work. Eventually, as their children grew up and got married, she also became a grandmother. On the day of June 19, 2015, everything drastically changed for the Carter family. Bill Carter had dropped off Shirley at their home after getting coffee in the morning. Bill then went to work to haul corn. This was a job that both he and his son Jason did on a contractual basis. After some time, Bill went to work on another load, and his son Jason went back home. It was then that Jason found his mother's lifeless body. Upon finding the body, Jason called to inform his sister before he called 911. And then it was the time when Bill received a call from his daughter stating that his wife was dead. In the 911 call, Jason also mentioned a bullet hole in the refrigerator. Upon arriving home, Bill Carter found his wife lying in a pool of blood. He reported that her arms were folded on her chest. Later, he said that it looked like she was sleeping, so he kissed her, but when he came to his senses, he realized that he was kissing the lifeless body of his wife. Soon, the police officers arrived at the scene with the DCI unit. Shirley Carter was found shot to death inside her residence in Lacona, Iowa. She was 68 years old at the time of her death. There were 2 gunshot wounds on her body. The first shot hit her at the bottom of her heart, while the second gunshot ruptured her heart. During the scanning of the crime scene, the authorities figured that no money was either stolen or even moved from where it was in the house. This made them believe strongly in the possibility of the involvement of a familiar person in the murder. Police officers were now more akin to assume that it could have been someone with a personal vendetta. There were several investigators who teamed up to solve this case. They chased several leads to bring the case to justice. They were sure of the involvement of a closely related person to the Carter family, but the question was who that person was. Was it Bill, Shirley's beloved husband? Was it Shirley's daughter? Or was it Jason, Shirley's own son? Soon the authorities were going to come across a probable motive that involved one of them.
I don't know, I told Dave, looking at the blood that was there next to her, it wasn't a bright red like when you shoot an animal. It was a deep maroon.
And how long do you think? I mean,
She had
kind of enough.
been laying there for an hour.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
You're talking, it drops you, then you're hysterical, then you have rational thought. Wow, that's a big jump in a short amount of time.
I don't know if I'm on after. I'm telling you the truth on that.
Well, let me ask you this. So, no. Let me
I want to say something real quick.
Okay.
So what if whoever out there that shot my mom, if they shoot another person here in the next day or two, how are you going to feel?
I feel like we're doing our job. Because we take the information available, and I explain how it works. The thing that we're missing here is a foundation.
The investigation is where most things broke loose in this case. The Carter family, which seemingly had no problems when looked at from the outside, soon erupted with accusations against each other. Bill Carter claimed to be in immense frustration and grief. During this time, he attempted suicide 2 times, but could not get himself across the line to death. He then decided to take matters into his own hands by hiring an attorney and a private investigator. This investigation led him to file a wrongful death suit against his son, Jason Carter. Though Jason Carter was regarded as a suspect by the police officers, there were still no arrests made. Bill Carter's investigation found out that Jason had several reasons for getting Shirley Carter killed. Jason had some ongoing financial troubles for which he was desperate to find solutions, and he had an alleged mistress who Shirley Carter got to know about recently. Jason Carter was also the next in line to inherit the farm. All of this made Bill Carter resolute in his belief that Jason had killed his mother. Bill also accused the law enforcement of not doing the investigation thoroughly. As Bill pushed with his claim against Jason, the trial of Jason for the wrongful death civil lawsuit began in 2017. The Marion County jury favored Bill Carter's claim and stated that Jason Carter would have to pay $10 million. Just 2 days after the civil verdict, Jason was charged and arrested for first-degree murder. And there began a series of accusations, pointing fingers, seeking justice in higher courts, and tricky criminal trials.
Really appreciated Judge Mertz and the jury. They took the evidence and looked it over, and they made their decision on what was said. And I'd like to thank every one of them personally, but of course I can't. And then I wanted to thank the community of Coloma.
In 2019, the case had a criminal trial in which Jason Carter was proved not guilty of his mother's murder. Since then, Jason Carter has focused on multiple attempts to overturn the civil verdict.
Form of verdict number 1, we the jury find Jason Carter not guilty. Is that your verdict, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Bull, do you care to have the jury polled?
No, sir.
Very well. In light of the jury's verdict, I will enter a judgment of acquittal. Any bond previously posted by the defendant will be released and exonerated. Anything further on behalf of the defendant at this point, Ms. Branstad?
Jason had argued that his father was responsible for shooting Shirley in the kitchen of their rural Lacona home. But even after this accusation, the jurors had their inclination towards Bill Carter's claim, and they sided with him. On the other hand, Jason Carter's attorney, Allison Kane, claimed that the jury would never have reached the conclusion against Jason if they had heard about the new evidence that he claimed to know. Kane claimed that his team had a series of interviews that essentially contained the story, which implicates the Followill brothers as having shot Shirley Carter. Kane filed a 46-page petition asking a judge to throw out the civil judgment. The petition gave new details about Joel and John Followill, brothers who had a history of criminal drug charges in Marion County. A Marion County jail inmate allegedly told the authorities that the brothers confessed to him that they had killed Shirley Carter. He claimed that the Followill brothers, along with Matt Kamerick, were burglarizing the home when Shirley Carter spooked them, so they shot her twice. Defense attorneys said that they just learned about the possible suspects because the Division of Criminal Investigation is required to turn over all its investigative files before the criminal trial. If the criminal trial had gone first, we would have had access to all this evidence that we would have been able to use in the civil trial, Kane said in Jason's defense. Bill Carter, on the other side, said that the new evidence doesn't change anything, and that his son Jason is responsible for Shirley Carter's death.
I would say I had no forensic evidence that I was aware of from this laboratory, not just myself. No DNA, no fingerprints, no ballistic evidence that said Jason Carter was responsible or not responsible.
And the now dismissed action, Jason Carter had sued his father Bill Carter, his brother Billy Carter, and the estate, asking the court to vacate the civil judgment entered in 2017. As he has done prior, Jason Carter claimed that he obtained new evidence about law enforcement's investigation during the criminal discovery process as he mounted a defense to first-degree murder charges. However, the courts did not find that argument persuasive. Courts ruled that Jason Carter's team had knowledge of the evidence prior and that the newly discovered evidence was hearsay and not admissible anyway. It also added that the evidence doesn't align with the theory Jason Carter had presented at his civil trial. As a result, the District Court and the Iowa Supreme Court concluded that the evidence would not have changed the civil verdict. Thus, they denied Jason Carter's attempts to vacate it to obtain a new trial. Later, in a state lawsuit, Jason Carter alleged a violation of constitutional rights, tortuous infliction of severe emotional distress, negligent and wrongful termination, and abuse of process. Eventually, the state lawsuit was dismissed as well. The dismissal, which was on jurisdictional grounds, is pending appeal. A federal lawsuit filed along the same lines was originally dismissed, but then partially revived by appeal, and now it is pending another appeal. Unfortunately for Bill Carter, there's still no closure. He strongly believes that Jason killed his mother with strong motives in his bag, but Jason also seems adamant about proving his innocence and going all the way for it. But the question here remains, if Jason didn't kill his mother, who did? And does it mean that the killer is still out there? What do you guys think? Did Jason Carter plot the murder of his own mother and then stage a 911 call? Or was it Bill Carter who believed strongly that it was his son who killed his wife? Or was it someone else who wasn't even suspected during the investigation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to never miss an update on much more such unreal crime mysteries. And if you are a true crime mystery buff and you never miss a true crime case, you should go ahead and click on this video to watch one of the most twisted crime cases that we have covered on our channel.